Hello, welcome back to the never-ending TBR in Kristen's Corner. And these are the books that I read in May. I'm getting used to what my format's going to be, so bear with me. And I'm Kristen, and I guess I'll start with the book I DNF'd and then work my way to my favorites, I guess. I don't know. The one that I DNF'd that I was very bummed about, very bummed about, was God Killer. I went in thinking it was going to be an epic story about a God Killer. And she was the best part of the book. I got to about 60% and I couldn't get through anymore. It starts off strong. There's this family that I don't know why they're on why they're being burned to death. I don't remember that part, but a god is called to save this little girl, and she ends up becoming the God Killer. I love the fact that the God Killer herself was a person with disabilities. They had prosthetic legs. There was a wheelchair in a fantasy book, which was really cool that it was, because that kind of stuff isn't in the books that I've read in fantasy. So I was really into it when it was about her. I did not like the other characters and the journeys and the quests that they went on. It felt like we were walking through mud. And the whole reason why she's on this quest is she takes this job from, I believe it was a princess, and a god had adhered themselves to protect themselves on the princess, and the God Killer went to go separate them, and for her to kill the god, she would kill the girl, and that's not part of her job. So she was going to go somewhere that could help separate the two. And as they're going through their journey, the god starts liking being a god, and he becomes bigger, and he's a little, I think it was white lie, the god of white lies. So he would put little white lies, and the more people believed it, he'd get bigger. I mean, I like the god and I like the God Killer. I did not like the book. So I was kind of bummed about that. The Butcher and the Wren was okay. It was, I don't know, it was kind of like a CSI kind of book. What else made the cut? I don't remember everything that I read because a lot of it were on planes. I know that I listened to this one towards the end of the month, and this is really cute. I love the texting and just the really cute stuff between the guy that's the vampire, what's his name? Frederick, and Cassie. And Cassie wants to be an artist when she grows up, but she found out when she grew up it was kind of too expensive. So she is being evicted and she's looking for a new apartment, and this apartment comes up, or this room comes up. This guy is looking for a roommate, and the room is $200. So she goes and meets Frederick, and he's a vampire that is trying to change his ways and switch to bag blood and not drink from the hoof, and it's cute. It's really cute. So if you're looking for a cutesy romance book, this was cute. Another one, oops, sorry, that was loud, that I listened to on the plane that I really liked. Like, this didn't do well perception-wise when it came out on Book Talk and BookTube and stuff, but I really liked The Villa. I was engaged the entire time. I didn't really sleep or anything. I thought it was fantastic. It's about two writers that are best friends, and one is super successful and one is not. And the super successful friend was like, hey, why don't we go to this villa where a murder happened, and maybe it'll get our juices flowing and we can write our next hit kind of thing, and just spend time because we've been busy. The one woman who isn't successful is going through a divorce and alimony, and she writes, I think it was cozy mysteries. So she made some money, but not a lot of money, and her husband was going after her money, and so she's like, you know what, I'm gonna take her up on it and I'm gonna go. And as she's learning more about the villa and the murder that happened there, and there's different perspectives, and then it bounces back to when the murder happened and some of the main characters then. And I liked it a lot. And she started finding clues, or she thinks they're clues, throughout the house. And she thinks that she's figured out this murder, and she decides, I'm going to write a true crime book. And this successful friend is like, oh my God, we should write it together. And it was just, it was really well done, where you're always rooting for your best friend, but there's always this thing like that you do want something for yourself, and you do want, recognition, but you also want to boost that other person. And sometimes personality changes, or things like that. So I don't know, I was engaged through the whole thing. So I thought it was, and the fact that it was in Italy, and then it was also the other timeline, I think is in the 60s or 70s, and it was like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and there was this rock star that was successful, and then this up-and-coming rock star, and two sisters that came along for the ride, and I liked it. I probably botched it, but if you've read it, let me know what you thought, because I really liked it. And then, I dropped it. What's the other one? I forgot that I had it. Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice was one of my favorite books of the month. I love the series. I think that Finley Donovan is the cutest. Hello. Hold, please. Oh, little bro heard me talking to myself. He was like, I just wanted to be funny and see what you were doing. Anyway, so Finley Donovan, if you haven't this is the fourth one, but if you don't know anything about it, she's a writer, and she's at a Panera with her editor, publicist, agent, maybe. Crap, I don't remember what she is. She's hilarious though. Anyway, doesn't matter. So she's talking about what her next book is going to be, and someone overhears her and thinks that she is a hitman. So it spirals from there, and there's a mob boss that gets involved and all of these things. And in this last one, her nanny Vero has a debt to pay in Atlantic City, and so she has to go meet the loan shark, because the loan shark has taken someone that Vero cares about very much, and he also has an item that has been part of the book series, and and he dies, and they find him, and they have to figure out how to keep Finley's detective boyfriend from finding out. And because she's going through a divorce, she was trying to make it just a girls' trip with her and Vero, and her mom tags along. She was like, I haven't had a girls' trip in forever, and blah, 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 blah. So she gets, it in her head that she's going, and then she wants to take the kids or something because she has 2 kids. And the ex-husband's like, no, you're not taking my kids out of state. I'm going too. So now it's this huge family trip to Atlantic City to settle a debt. And nobody knows what's going on except Finley and Vero. And it's just, oh my God, these books have me cracking up. Because what would you do? What would you do if you found a solution to your problem dead and floating in a bathtub? And how would you what would you do if you've already committed all of these different crimes and you know that it's not looking good for you no matter what? And then I was like, okay, so maybe this is the end of the series, because they kind of tie up all the different loose ends, and it's all pretty much a happy ending towards the end. And I'm like, oh, you know, I really like this series. Well, if you've read the books, you find out about the neighbor, and they find something in the neighbor's backyard. So that's going to lead into the next one. I love the series. I love how quirky it is. I love the fact that it's millennial thinking and cozy mystery. And it's fun. I really like that book. And then my other 5-star for the month was this one. I bent the thing. Oh well. Was it 5 stars? Did I give it 5 stars? Might have given it 4. No, I think I gave it 5. I figured out who did it way too soon. But the nostalgia, the small town feels of it, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And like I said, I loved the packaging. And Geneva Rose, she has a TikTok account, and she was kind of talking about being on the bestseller and having, like, the first book is fantastic. The second book was okay. I mean, it had its twists and turns, and I enjoyed it, but other people kind of dogged it. And then this one came out, and she was like, you know, it's tough to do follow-ups and stuff like that, but she was really proud about this, and she talked about her process and whatever. And I wrote to, you know, in the comments section that I just bought the special edition and that I loved it. And she actually wrote back. Now, whether it's her team or whatever, but that means something to readers or anybody in the entertainment industry when engagement is given back. You know, it's not just us doom scrolling and commenting and whatever, you know, to pass our day. It's the fact that you acknowledged that people responded to you. So that was a happy little moment last month. So I feel like I'm missing a book, but these are the ones that I can remember off the top of my head, because it is June 13th. Cannot believe we're halfway through the month. It's crazy. So what were your favorite reads? What were your favorite reads last month? And what are you looking forward to this month? And I hope you're having a great day and a great week. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.